here we are. We got here super early to make sure nobody was able to get better spots than us for the solar eclipse. Look at all the competition we had. They couldn't get us. We've been here since hours ago.
What an intro. That was a one-take video there.
Yeah.
My little sister. So do you consider yourself a baby sister? Do you refer to Yeah?
Well, I'm y'all's little sister.
But baby, do you say the word baby in front of it?
I don't.
You don't?
No, I'd assume that maybe y'all would.
Because at the softball game the other day, I think you were making some kind of comment. For some reason, you were like, did you just cuss? And then I was like, what are you talking about? And for whatever reason, that triggered somebody on the opposing team to ask if that's your baby sister. And I was like, pretty intuitive for them to think that.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's interesting that somebody else outside of our family would ask the question based on your question if I cursed during the game.
Yeah.
Which I don't even know what
I think you had said like it was a foul or like it was a foul ball, and I thought you said like F ball, like F that ball or something like that, and I was like,
I thought the word you were thinking about was C-U-N-T, but I was saying the word B-U-N-T. But
oh yeah.
I don't know which word you thought I said. Which, of course, we're not going to have this whole conversation during a live softball game.
Yeah.
But anyway, we were having that conversation. Okay, so one thing that I think we need to have a serious conversation about. Do you know what it is?
No.
Okay. Okay. So Taylor Swift has the Swifties.
Yes.
Justin Bieber has the Beliebers.
Yes.
What is our fan army name going to be? So when we refer to our audience members, our raving fans, our listeners, our dedicated ones, what are we going to call them? That's the question. And do you have a personal fan army name that you've kind of thought about over the years?
Personal for myself?
Correct. I have one.
What is yours? No, I don't have one. I don't know who thinks about stuff like that.
Yeah. So my last name is clearly here in the neon. So and I didn't actually create this. So my coworker had mentioned it. I was like, I like that. I'll use it. So there's the Guardians of the Galaxy, and based on my last name, the Guahardians of the Galaxy. Yeah. So, but if our podcast name will be the Always Right, Never Wrong, we connect to that. We connect to one of your name. We connect to a connection between my name and your name. So there's different things we can think about.
Yeah. We'll have to think about it. Or we decided? Well, I guess we haven't decided pretty much on anything, right?
Right.
No, like our title, even.
Yeah.
For what our podcast is gonna be.
Well, I think we were close to
always right.
Always right, often wrong.
Yeah.
Or always right, never wrong. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Okay. So anyway, there's the fan army question. Put that as a seed in your mind. Let yourself think about it, and maybe next pod we can discuss a few options.
Yeah.
Okay. So I made the thumbnail today, and I did make the thumbnail about you smacking me. So to set the stage for anybody who was not at this game, which is most of our fans, our raving fans and followers, don't follow us to our to our events in real life. So the T-ball game had just finished, and so we probably rounded up at third base. And, we gave a little bit of a charge of, great job, guys. Y'all got the win. Are you ready to keep practicing? Are you ready to work hard? Are you ready to keep on going? All of these things.
For your T-ball team.
For my T-ball team.
Yes. The little ones.
And then we say, all right, say Giants real loud on 3. 1, 2, 3, Giants. Then the parents appropriately make the tunnel for the players to go through. So then we're getting ready to run through the tunnel. I usually don't go as a coach, but if I have Jackson, I'll go with him with his hands. Just because one of the times, side story, he had got lost in the mix of us giving high fives, and he went to the other team. And then, so ever since then, I've carried him to the high fives. And then Jackson, being our younger nephew, who's 2 years old, so I'll walk with Jackson through the high five line as well, get him and bring him back. all of that to say, we're doing that, and all of a sudden, I feel a smack on my head during the tunnel.
I can't believe Diamond.
So automatically, I just thought somebody, didn't have their thing right. But I also was thinking as it was happening. So if you just imagine me in slow motion walking with Jackson, holding his hands as he's giving the high fives to the parents, brothers, sisters, uncles, aunts, whoever that came to the game for everybody. And all of a sudden, I have a smack hit my head. But then I'm thinking, that smack felt a little bit more. It's the one thing if you run into a smack. It's another thing if the smack and you are running into it. So it felt like there was somebody doing it. And I automatically knew it was you, to which you denied. But I want to ask you, what was going through your head when you decided to smack me in a moment of rejoicing and celebration?
I said, I wonder what the bald head feels like.
I had a hat on.
Still feels bald.
And then
Then I was able to tell the future because it was a magic cue ball head.
Well, the thing about it is, what you ended up doing is you relapse for a second. Do you relapse if you're a recovering liar?
Yeah.
Okay, so you relapse, not for a really long time, but you said it was Diamond, our older sister. For anybody that doesn't know, she's 3 years older than me, which makes her
lots of years
17 years older than you.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you blame Diamond. I told our mom that you had hit me. You denied it, but then your relapse only lasted probably about maybe 4 minutes, which is a pretty quick recovery. So then what inspired you to recover from your relapse?
Everyone knew it was me.
Yeah.
So I couldn't keep up the charade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, welcome back to, so how's your recovery going now? Has it been going strong?
Going pretty good.
Yeah, I haven't sensed any lies from you.
Yeah. None so far.
Yes. Yes. Okay. So another event from this past week, an event that both you and I were involved in. Softball game, scrimmage version. Woman is up to bat.
When you beat a woman.
Oh my gosh.
The title should have been Derek beats a woman on her back with a softball.
So yes, I accidentally sniped a woman. So one of the worst feelings in the world of all time is when I hit a human being with my car. Have you ever done that?
Wait. No. What?
You never hit a pedestrian before?
I just assumed that that's something that hardly ever happens.
I hope it doesn't. But I did hit a pedestrian once. And luckily, he wasn't trying to sue me, and he just got up off the hood after he was hit and walked away. And I was just like, it's one of the worst all-time feelings of life. So I don't know if it's as bad as how you felt after you stabbed that one homeless woman in your apartment.
Definitely probably not. But like maybe when like Kalel falls over like off the side of the bed. Well, one time he rolled off the couch. And it's like, oh.
Yeah, that's probably one of the worst, right? As a parent?
No.
The person you love more than anything falling into danger? Is it like slow motion when you see him falling?
Yeah,
or is it just like you look away? Dumb.
Like Kalel was just learning how to like roll over, and the very first time it happened, he like was doing this little crunch thing and at Shanice's house. And her couch isn't very tall, so it was rather like short, but he somehow like went feet first but on his belly. So like he was on his belly, feet first. And I was packing up, and by the time I saw him, he was already like hitting the ground. Like his little feet hit the ground.
Yeah.
So then I tried to catch him, but he hit the ground. Then he rolled the rest of the way. So his little feet hit, and obviously he was barely learning how to roll, so he couldn't stand.
Yeah.
So then his little head hit the ground. And then he was like, "Wow."
Did you do that like pretend it's okay. Oh, you're okay. Or did you go? Or you know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's the gas that they say that parents do or adults do that makes it scarier for the kids because they're like kind of picking up on your emotional cues. Or did you do the oh you're okay or whatever? Or you know what I'm saying? So I've seen both of those things done.
He was little, so like I'm sure just I was freaking out. I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh no. Oh
Yeah, yeah,
no,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
I'm so sorry." But yeah, kind of like that maybe is
Do
what
you
I'd
think that's a
assume.
version of the gaslighting that starts early because they hit their head and the parents are like, "Oh, you're okay, you're okay."
I do
Again.
think that's gaslighting. Like sometimes when Kalel like he'll freak out
Yeah.
now, but like he'll do baby things and then he'll freak out and then I'm like, "Are you okay? Like you're fine. Like really, you're fine."
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Because sometimes he's being overdramatic.
Yeah. That's a good one. That's a good one to think through on gaslighting. Or I have like a list that I'm kind of creating on my own of when are times. I think when I was younger, I would be like, never lie. I think we had a pod about this, but now I'm like, I think there are more situations and circumstances when I would lie, when I think it would be good to lie. So I think an example would be like, let's say if somebody broke in right now and holding us hostage by guns, and I was trying to like get them to like if I was lying to protect you and get you out,
Yeah.
like wouldn't I? I think yeah. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like when it comes to the value of lying and integrity versus the value of protecting the life of my sister, like
Yeah.
it's easy gonna be protect the life of over
Yeah.
telling the truth. Of course, telling a lie could make the problems worse, but all of that to say. So back into the story,
Yes.
hitting the pedestrian with my car. It wasn't like I hit them and they flipped, or even that they went onto the windshield. I hit them and they were like laying on the hood. So
What were you doing?
okay, I had just got up from a nap, and you know when you get up from a nap, you're kind of like not really all with it. And so I got into my car to go to HEB. I pulled up to the light. And you know when it's a red light, of course you could turn to the right.
Yeah.
So it's one of those times I'm pulled up to the light, made the stop, now I'm turning to the right. I'm looking to the left to see the oncoming traffic, and I'm not seeing anybody. So I'm inching forward and I'm moving forward, and I start going, and all of a sudden I just feel a big old thud on my trunk or no, the hood of the car. And it's like, again, the worst feeling ever of a human being all of a sudden that you know you hit and now they're laying on the hood. I undo my seatbelt. I get out of the car. I'm asking them if they're okay. Can I do anything? Can I give you money? Can I do something? And he's like, no, I'm okay. And walks away. It's one of those moments like there's traffic behind me, but you just want to like,
Give him a hug.
yeah, or disappear. But like you can't. I mean, I got to get back in the car and like get out of the way because the traffic behind me is mad. Because like, why is
Yeah.
he out of his car? What's happening over there? And they're probably judging me too. Like, I played it forward. Like, how did it look to the people who were behind me? They see this car hit the dude. They see me get out. Do I look like I'm intimidating him? I'm trying to like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to like.
Let me help you.
They're thinking I'm a
Take my money. They probably think you're over there like, you
Like a-
better not tell anyone.
like a psycho. But yeah, so one of the worst feelings. So all of that to say, this past Thursday in the scrimmage, one of the ladies is up to bat from the opposing team. She hits a really short ball down the first baseline. I run over there, get the ball. She's running to first base. I throw it as fast and hard as I can to try to get it to the first base. And it goes off to the right and hits her right in the back. What were you thinking when you witnessed this?
We're gonna see her on Tuesday. She's gonna have a big old bruise on her back.
Or worse, she's on crutches or in a wheelchair. Oh, no.
She's gonna be like, it was over for me. Oh, no bueno.
Mm.
Nah, she's okay.
I kind of wanted just to line up on the fence and just have her team just peg me with the ball over and over again and just, just to make it right. There's an Old Testament biblical passage about restitution is like 7 times over or something like that. So I was like, give me 7. Give me 7 hits for it to be made right. But one of the worst feelings ever.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so if somebody pegs you in the back, if that happened to you,
hits
what do you want? your team to do, or your big brother to do, or your husband to do? Is there a protocol? Is there a protocol to this?
What I want you to do is I'm gonna fall down on the ground and pretend like I died. I want you to go over there.
Oh, snap.
I'm gonna lie down on the ground. Nyeh. And then I'm gonna be like, oh, I'm dead. And
Oh,
then
no.
then I want you all to lift me up and carry me and look at the person that threw it at my back as as we're all walking off the field carrying me.
Oh, my gosh. We're saying doom on you. Doom on you. And, okay, so got it. That was a lot easier than going to fight them. Now, what if a woman pegs you? Like, peg is probably the wrong word, but she snipes you with a softball in the back.
Beat me.
Maybe beams.
Beams, yeah.
Snipe, beat. Yeah. Okay. Woman does it. Same protocol?
Mm-hmm.
Now, the question is, when you get hit in the back by a throw, clearly it's not dodgeball. So do you go down immediately, or do you make it to first? You're like, or do you like kind of stumble forward?
Yeah, I would imagine it would be like a slow-mo, like little fall
Yeah.
to first, but then there'll be like out for diving. But I mean, would you be out?
I feel like it wouldn't be a true slide. It would be a fall. I think for like a fall, they would give a grace to.
But would you be out from getting hit by the ball?
No.
Okay, that was my assumption.
Yeah.
I think
Okay,
it's fine.
so Diamond had the idea. Diamond, our older sister, who we referenced earlier, she had the idea that what I could do is give a gift to the woman who was hit by me with the softball in her back, and there would be back themed gifts like back lotion or back ointment,
Scratcher.
back scratcher. She texted me later, even that night, when she texted me, give her a card to Chili's baby back ribs. And I thought it was a good idea. Of course, I'm mindful. I never want women to get the wrong idea of my intentions or whatever. But so if you're beamed in the back and then the person came with a gift like that, would you not think of anything of it? Would you?
I would be glad.
Yeah.
I'll be like, I'm glad.
Would you be gracious? And what if they went and try to give you a hug?
As soon as they touch my back,
And you fall
I'll
back
be
down.
like, my back. Don't touch there.
Yeah.
That was where you sniped me.
Yeah. So
Beamed me.
that was bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like the nicest one too on the other team.
Yeah. Friendly.
Yeah.
Yep. So sadness. I do get scared, playing second, that I'm gonna get ran over. Like Diamond did that one time.
Yeah.
I think we've talked about it on the pod before also, but I do think like, oh, I don't want to get run over. Jeremy would be mad if he was there. He'd be like, "You're never playing again."
If you get ran over?
Yeah.
So would that make you hesitant to say you got ran over immediately, or would you say it immediately?
It would make me hesitant. No, I would tell him.
Yeah.
I definitely would tell him. Like that one time I fell. That was horrible. When I fell and I scraped my leg and I hit my ribs.
Was this recent?
Yeah. It was the day before your gender reveal.
There's another live video that has been discussed. You're hilarious. The fact that we got you all on camera, just processing. Whoops. It's okay. We have like 3 people watching, so if depending on how they navigate sharing secretive news, wink.
I should have said before Peter Piper's trip, but whatever.
That's okay.
But yeah, when I fell, the day before that,
you were bleeding?
Yeah, it was raining. Well, it was just me and Jeremy. We were at home.
Oh, okay. This took a left turn. Okay, you fell.
Yeah, I fell.
Okay, keep going.
I fell. So I was moving a chair. So we have those tall chairs, for tall tables.
Yeah.
And when I was moving it in the backyard, because our dogs kept jumping the fence.
Yeah.
So we were trying to like block off the fence. So I was trying to I was like, no, you need to put the chair over there. And he was like, no, I already got it. So then I was like, no, you need to put the chair. So I went to go get the chair, and I was pushing it, and outside, like the sidewalk is kind of lifted on one side. So I guess I didn't like pick it up enough, and I like hit the bottom legs on it.
Yeah.
And when it fell over, it has obviously like the little bar for your feet to go on. I fell on top of it. So like I fell on top of it, and it hit my ribs and my stomach like really hard.
Yeah.
And since it fell, like the legs were long, and since it fell over the cement, my calves, not my calves, my shins then hit the cement. And then I flopped over.
You're
And-
bleeding?
Yeah, and I laid on the ground.
Is that the one? So your shin that's cut, that has something on it now?
Yeah.
So I saw it yesterday when we were watching the eclipse, and whenever it's a woman, I again, maybe this is you tell me. I often, if I see like a scar, my brain goes, "Don't say anything about it. She might be insecure about it."
Yeah.
You brought it up now, so I feel like now you've opened up the door. Do you think that's a decent protocol for men to have, to if they see a scar on a woman, not to comment on it at all?
Maybe some women, yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, possibly.
Oh, and if a man was trying to figure out what happened, would you think maybe a really roundabout way? For example, him going, "Hey, do you have you ever had any scars?" Or "Hey, here's one of my scars. Like they're bad. Have you ever had one?" Like, or what's the way to go about it for a man to ask, maybe indirectly, in a tactful way about a woman's scars?
Maybe be like, oh, I used to get hurt all the time as a kid. That's how I got like all these, this scars. Do you ever used to roughhouse or got any of your own stories? I don't know.
Did you ever used to roughhouse? Okay.
Might be wrong. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, so then you were connecting the story of getting hurt with your shin.
Yeah, because after that, like, I fell over and I laid down.
Yeah.
Because I was in a lot of pain because I hit not only like my leg was cut, and then also I fell straight on top of the chair, and the wood legs hit me in my ribs and my stomach. So then I'm like in a lot of pain, so I just laid down on the ground.
And Jeremy saw it, or he heard it?
Jeremy hears me go, "Ugh." You can see it on our ring, right? So like our ring didn't catch me falling because I was too close to the side.
Yeah.
But you can hear like it thud to the ground, and Jeremy turns around and he's like, so then I'm laying on the ground. So then Jeremy's like, what did you do? And then I'm like, I fell.
So there's ring footage of the audio?
Yeah.
Wow.
So then I fell over, and then Jeremy picks me up, and he has to take me inside, and he said,
Is that on ring?
No, I don't know if that part's on it, but he picks me up and he takes me inside, and he's like, this is why I told you not to come outside and help me. Because it was also raining.
See, that's the double trouble. You just got punished by getting physically hurt, and then you got scolded on top of it.
He said, I told you not to come out and help. Just stay inside.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
There are those parents. I think Mama did this to me once, where I was in the middle of the street, like on my tricycle or something, and then a big old 18-wheeler was coming down the street. I eventually got out, and then she was screaming for me to get out. And then when I got out, she hugged me, but then she spanked me and scolded me. So it was like I was being yelled at in the street, and then I was hugged and spanked. And so I imagine, like, what is a kid like processing this moment? Like, why am I being spanked and hugged at the same time?
Definitely confusion.
Yes.
Yeah. But like my ribs hurt for like a week.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, I thought we were tying this back into some kind of injury.
So that was
if
like
somebody ran into you on
if they
softball,
ran into me.
yeah, he would outlaw it because
I would imagine, yeah, because one, I'm pretty clumsy as it is.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
As is, I'm pretty clumsy. He wouldn't want me doing things. Like, I did that at home. doing stuff that's gonna lead to me getting more hurt. He does not
Yeah.
particularly like.
Okay, so what would you do? Okay, so let's play that situation back when I beamed that girl in her back.
Mhm.
So she's hit. Now let's say she has friends in the crowd. Let's say she has one friend, woman friend, and she's coming at me. Now this friend's a woman, so I can't do anything. And what do you do? As my sister.
Immediate
What
punch
was that
to the
sound, though?
face. Immediate punch to the face.
So you jump in.
Mhm.
But if she was just talking, like kind of coming toward me, would you be like talking back? Would you be like kind of jumping in there?
Yes.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
I'd be like, hey, you need to calm down. And you
Mm.
don't need to be yelling
That always works with women too.
You don't need to be yelling at anybody like that.
Yes. Okay, calm down. All right. Okay, so I did take your advice. Not I haven't watched Barbie movie yet, which you said it would bring us closer. And it would elevate me on the favoritism list of your siblings. But I took your advice because you said one way we get closer is by asking for favors.
Mm-hmm.
I asked you for a favor this past week. Do you remember what it was?
Did I do it?
You did.
No.
I asked you if you'd serve me some Coca-Cola.
Oh, yeah.
Some Maine root cola.
Yeah.
And it seemed like you had this interesting momentary battle in your brain of like, am I going to do this or not? And I was like, what is happening in her brain? You ultimately did it. So the good side of you, I guess, beat the bad side of you. So I was curious what that was like on your side of it when I asked for a favor.
I mean, I guess it's kind of just like, since we're siblings, I wanted to be like bratty about it, but I was going to do it ultimately.
Yeah. You're like, get your own cola.
I don't want to get you Mexican cola. Nah, I don't care.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well done. So you had a great video and you had a good serving heart. Maybe your goodness is balancing out your evil with smacking me in the head. So, all right. So I said a couple good things about you. Do you want to say some good things about me?
No, thanks. I'm just kidding. Sure. Let's see. Good things. I think it is good that you feel sorry that you hit someone in the back.
Yeah.
You could not care.
I suppose, is that what a sociopath is or a psychopath is?
I think
where they
so.
don't feel anything?
Yeah, no emotions.
Yeah.
That's what I'd assume. But I'm glad you did feel bad. Let's see. When we went to the batting cages.
That's right.
That was fun. You made sure to go there. That was good. Talk to the Kalel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good things.
How'd you like the batting cages?
I liked him. I mean, until we got that lighter bat, it is, my arms are pretty small as it is. I'd say all the way around is, I don't know. Maybe, what do you think this distance is?
The curve? Let's see.
Like this.
Oh, okay. That's maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe between 6 and 8. Or 6, maybe between 5 and 7.
5 and 7 inches?
Yeah.
All the way around?
Mm-hmm.
So I'd assume, I don't know.
You think bigger? Smaller?
Smaller.
There's no way.
Because look, it looks, okay, maybe it looks like 2 inches across the front and 2 inches across the back.
Yeah, and then the sides.
Half and half on
yeah,
both
so 5
sides.
to 7, I feel like I'm...
Okay, 5 to 7.
I can go get the measuring tape right now in the middle of our pod if you wanted to.
I guess we could.
Okay, can you entertain people for how long? 30 seconds?
Sure.
All right.
Okay. So, story time. Let's see. This morning, what happened? Oh, this morning I made food. I made bacon. Also, I have a question for everybody out there. Are you able to thaw meat and then put it back, like thaw it from the freezer and then put it back in the freezer, or once you thaw it, it has to go in the fridge and you have to use it, or once you thaw it, you have to use it immediately. Because I'm not 100% sure how that goes. Also, do people save their bacon fat? Um, Diamond and I had bought this thing. You can buy a glass bottle that has like a little spout at the bottom for you to save. She says chicken bone stock, chicken stock. And it'll pour out the stock from the bottom and the fat will be on top.
Mm.
Yep.
Here you are. Let's see.
Moment of truth. 5.
5.5?
About 5.5, 5.25.
Yeah.
About 5.25. But yeah, so let's measure yours. So if mine's 5.25. What are you doing? That's not your wrist.
You gave me a really nice compliment this past week. Actually, do you want to tell our fan army about the compliment you gave me?
Yes.
The best compliment you've ever given me in my entire life.
I asked Derek if he had been working out because he looked nice and swole.
Yep. And I cried. No, I'm just kidding. I did not. All right. So you want to measure my wrist?
Yeah, measure your wrist.
Let's see here.
7.25-ish.
Yeah, like 7. Pretty much right over 7.
Okay. So I think that it was definitely kind of hard to hold the bat. It was hurting my wrists. Like even my wrists are a little sore now. I was like thinking because I guess I had been missing the balls recently. So I really wanted to go practice, and then we went to practice, and then my wrists were so tired by the end I was barely hitting them all also.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking because normally when we're practicing, I do get to hit the ball like not that many times, so I would like to be able to hit the ball fewer times at a better, doing better batting rather than having to hit 100 times or whatever. I mean, obviously I didn't hit 100 times.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah. I'm excited to play today to figure out if all that practice did any work.
Me too. I'm excited. We shall see. Thoughts, ideas.
Practice. Well, I think the activity was cool because sometimes, well, one, I had no frame of reference for how much something like that would cost. But the idea that you can pay $6, 60, like 96 pitches. Is it right? 16 is a dollar. It's $1 for 16.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so 96 pitches for $6. It's me like a pretty good workout. So I was thinking about like sometimes I think about, hey, what are some different kind of workouts I could do? So running, of course, is always one. But then certain times it's a little bit later, and I'm going, especially with life changes on the horizon. Wink, wink.
Yeah.
I think about I don't want to put myself in as much danger.
Yeah.
So I'll go like the idea of running at night around my neighborhood, around the cars, because pretty much everywhere that I run, it's a sidewalk. And when you're running, you could see tire marks where people clearly have jumped the curb. And so it's like, I'm glad they're not doing it this time. But at some point in time, for some reason, somebody jumped the curb. And if somebody was there, they would have got smashed. So...
Because obviously they weren't paying attention. They wouldn't have sent a human there either.
Right. Yeah. So then it's made me think about different types of workouts. But the idea that I could get 96 pitches in as a workout is okay. And then even if you added more to that, you added 4 more. So then like over 150 pitches for $10.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was like, oh, okay, that's a good little workout. Now I don't have a softball bat, so I have to figure that part out.
But they let you have the ones there.
Exactly. Yeah. So they let you use the ones there. So I thought it was another little workout thing, and they're open till 9. So like if you go over that 8 or whatever, then that could work.
Mm-hmm. Get them all knocked out real fast. Yeah.
Are you mindful about Jeremy? Like if Jeremy wanted to run in the neighborhood at night, would it be something you would be concerned about as far as going like, yeah, I don't feel as safe about this?
Not really.
Pretty carefree?
Yeah. I mean, I don't worry too much. I mean, yeah, there's a little piece of me. So like I'm like 87% no worry, like 13% worry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But especially cuz he doesn't really talk to people. He's not going to like pass by a neighbor, start talking and get in conversation and like get into a fight or something.
You think talking? I guess that makes sense. Talking is put somebody in more danger than not talking.
Yeah. I think if
Interesting.
you like
Yeah.
if you stop to like talk to people or like even if you see somebody or if you look at people, like Jeremy will like avoid eye contact, avoid communication. I think that's probably the best way to go about it. But like a lot of times, like if you make eye contact with somebody, they're like, "What are you looking at?" Or
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah. So the other day after one of our games, I went downtown. I said I'm gonna go running on the Riverwalk in the park, and it was pretty late. It was like nah. It was like 8:30 to like 9:45. But then again, you always think about, am I? Is this to me? This is safer than running on the side of the roads where you could get
Yeah,
hit. But then you could also understand the element of somebody of again wife concerned or worried about me running through downtown. But I felt like it was one of the more safer routes as
Oh.
far as again compared to running where cars are.
wow, yeah,
And it was nice. I feel like the one thing like I try to like I'm not naturally considerate, but I feel like my brain can become considerate if I think about it enough. Example would be if I'm running downtown or on the Riverwalk, there's restaurants. Naturally, when I'm running, I don't have the best odor emanating from my body, and I'm thinking about running along the Riverwalk by the restaurants where people are eating outside. If they catch a waft of my
whiff,
odor,
yeah.
waft is what I feel like waft is related to no.
I think when you waft, you like it's the act of wafting,
Okay, so you can't catch a waft.
but you can be waft with a whiff. My assumption.
So yeah, so if they caught a whiff of my running that waft, no, if they caught a whiff of me, it probably wouldn't be the most pleasant experience. Dining at the Riverwalk with your food right there, and then somebody running. But outside of that, very pleasant experience.
Wow,
I'd probably do it again.
wow. So
Mhm.
speaking of running,
Yes.
remember I told you the other day Jeremy and I went for a run,
Mm-hmm.
and I was talking about how I think I wanted to train for a marathon.
Yes.
Yeah. So you said that there's one in December.
Mm-hmm.
So right now we're in April.
Mm-hmm.
April, so that would give us 9 months
Yeah,
to train
that's right.
for this marathon.
When you say us, what do you mean by that?
Jeremy and myself. Would you want to do
Nice.
it too? All of us?
Do you know what this phrase synchronicities? You know what that means?
No.
Okay, you know those people who are like manifest wizards? They're like, manifest, speak it over your life and manifest it and give this energy and your thought bubbles could touch each other. And no, I added that last one. No,
Yeah.
no, the people that are in that space, there's this phrase called synchronicities, and it's the concept of when, let's say, a friend of mine talks about a marathon.
Mm-hmm.
He's talking about doing it, and he's trying to like ask me about it, and then you're asking me about it. So these are syncing. The synchronicities are like there's two things happening in completely separate environments, similar to the thought bubbles concept.
Yeah.
Which your thought bubbles might just be synchronicities as far as like the way other people would explain it. So there's an element of me when I assess what's happening in my life, asking, "Oh, is God trying to push me in the direction of this? And is this what's best?" So
In regards to the
marathon, yeah, I think it could be fun. Could be fun.
Have you had other people asking you about it?
Yes, yes. Well, and then one friend asked me about it. Then another friend who does marathons all the time. So it's like
His thing.
his monthly thing.
Yeah.
Like he has a Christmas tree and no decorations, but his marathon medals are just all on. Actually, you met him, Jesse Chow. We went to lunch with him after church one day. He's an Asian doctor.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah, I remember that.
so he's a marathon maniac. So I was talking to him on the phone, and was telling him, I told him the words that came out of my mouth were, I feel like I'm getting a marathon itch over here. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to do it. It just means, you know,
Thoughts?
it's a thought in there, you know?
Yeah.
So
I don't know how long a marathon would be, like
how long time or how long miles?
distance.
27.3, I think.
Miles?
Yeah. What's the longest you ever ran, do you think? Or walk,
I
ran,
used
walk?
to do track, so like when I did track, I think I did max 3 miles.
Okay.
So I'm like, to do a marathon would be crazy.
Would you get new shoes?
Yeah, probably. I mean, I have some
Socks?
nice shoes.
Running shoes?
Yeah.
You have running shoes?
Yeah.
What brand?
They're Nike.
Nope. Yeah, I don't know, but all those things, like my other friend who's done like the Ironman stuff and marathons, he's told me like, hey, it's like get the specific running shoes, specific socks.
Like from SAS? San Antonio shoes?
No, like from, is it Fleet?
San Antonio shoes are pretty expensive.
That doesn't mean anything.
They say they're comfortable. They're like the most comfortable
For
shoes.
running?
I don't know. I figured if they have regular comfy shoes, day-to-day comfy shoes, they should have good comfy running shoes.
No,
That'd
but I
be
think
my
those
assumption.
those are assumption. Yeah, no, I think those are completely different things.
Okay.
But
Like where?
what's the runner's place? Is anybody listening who knows running in San Antonio? But it's the runner store. It's not Fleet Feet, is it?
Free run?
I Run is this place that I got my running socks and got my running shoes. Back to you and I were actually talking about this yesterday. We were talking about expensive socks versus cheap socks. The only socks I get are expensive socks for running. So
you only have expensive socks for running and no other socks at all?
no, that would be blasphemy. No,
I was confused.
but the most recent purchases of actually no, that's actually also not true because I bought one pair of baseball socks for my
Baseball or softball? Or
Yeah.
for your what?
It was more for my outfit as opposed to like for function.
Yeah.
But for the most part, if you looked at my my sock transactions over the last 5 years, the vast majority are expensive running socks, which is not like high. Like, I mean, it's like maybe like $20 or less, which would be for sure for a pair of socks.
Yeah.
So, anyway, all that to say is, I was asking if you would get all the equipment and everything. Would you get a vest for you to be able to drink, like the camel pack?
Like the ones that have the water?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. Maybe.
Or would you get the running belt where you have the little bottles on?
No.
Or would you get the running bottle handle where you kind of straps on and just run?
I would probably do backpack.
Camelback.
Yeah. Definitely probably pack.
Sadly or happily, I have all of the above. I even have two different belts. One belt, because one, I sweat a lot. Like, so much so when I was a mover in the moving business, my coworker, Juan, would refer to me as Aquaman because of the amount of sweat. Like, we would go to a job to move furniture, and I would have full long sleeves and pants on, and every centimeter of my outfit was drenched. So like, which is horrible in one sense. It's like you grab like a cabinet and you're picking it up, and then all of a sudden there's an arm of of liquid on the furniture. So, but all I had to say is,
Think about that next time you get movers.
Right. Well, I don't know if you could request somebody who doesn't sweat a lot, but
No sweaty.
or there's a reason people wrap their stuff in plastic.
Yeah.
So that the sweat gets on the plastic and not on the furniture.
Makes sense.
So yeah. Anyway, my Camelback did get some mold on it, so I had to throw out the
plastic part that goes in it.
Right, the place that hold the pouch that holds the water, and now it's just the backpack without the water. But yeah.
Cool.
Okay, so here's the some of my thoughts about marathon running. I I do whenever even if I do like a 5 mile here, I put on sunblock all over. One purchase I made yesterday, which proud about, which was there's areas of my back that I don't think I could reach with my sunblock. So I feel like I'm pretty flexible, especially with my right arm, but my left. So can then the viewers see this? Let's see if you do it this way. See how flexible this is? This goes way up to the mid back, right? And then can you let me okay, you see how high that is? Let's see this other hand. Okay. That's as high as it goes. So I think significantly lower. Yeah, right? Yes.
At least an inch.
Let's see. I felt like that's like 3.
Okay, yeah, maybe 3 inches.
But all that to say is I can't get every inch of my back when it comes to sunblock, but I did purchase a sunblock lotion applicator, I believe is the phrase. And now I can get every inch of my back with. Actually, it hasn't came in yet, but I will be in the next day or so. Thank you, Amazon. Oh, back to the marathon. Okay. So they say, correct me if I'm wrong, but to reapply sunblock every 2 hours.
I didn't hear that.
Hey, Siri. Siri, work while we're doing this? How often do you apply sunblock? Let's see what she says.
Apply sunscreen approximately 30 minutes before being in the sun for best results so that it can be absorbed by the skin and less likely to wash off when you perspire. Remember to reapply sunscreen after
Can they hear
swimming
this?
or strenuous exercise. Apply sunscreen often throughout the day if you work outdoors and wear hats and protective clothing.
It said
This is from the
often.
Centers for Disease Control.
Siri has said to do it often. Sorry, Siri, don't. Oh gosh, my Siri's
Your
going off.
Siri's talking to you. Okay. Well, I think it's hours too, especially if you're perspiring.
Sweating.
Yes. Okay. So when you're in a marathon, sunblock all over, right? Now you're going 2 hours in. You need another layer. Do you put it on top of your sweat? Do you dry?
Maybe you run under one of those like shower things.
Of sunblock lotion?
No, first you do the water.
Okay, so somehow you okay.
Maybe somebody does a water. Everybody gets a water hose, and you run.
So
through.
you get hosed by you get hosed and then what?
Then you do the sunblock. Then maybe you have
Hosed,
people
dried, then sunblock.
Why would you have to be dried? Why don't you just run a little bit and then dry off?
Okay. You said it's such a it's your tone. Your tone is a little condescending right now. No, okay. For how inaccurate you are, especially. It's one thing you have a tone when you're right. Okay, no, okay. Well, you might not be.
You're gonna start to immediately sweat after you rinse off.
That's what I was about to ask you. So, are you a big sweater? Or are you an?
I'm not a big sweater.
Oh, okay.
No.
Well, so you wouldn't know. Now I'm able to teach you. I'm able to educate your ignorant self on this matter. No. No. So okay. If I go running even for 5 miles, especially here in San Antonio, I come in. I might wipe myself with a towel. I get in the shower, even a cold shower. Even if I get in a hot shower or cold, it doesn't matter. I get out of the shower. Guess what?
You're sweating?
Still sweating. I don't even know so now, disgusting as it may be, I've gone what is this water? Because it doesn't seem like regular sweat. So disgusting as it may be, I've gone like this, and I was like, it tastes more like water than actual sweat. Maybe I got all the sodium out earlier or whatever. Who knows? All I'm saying is if you didn't know this fact of life is you can sweat, towel dry, take even a cold shower, and still be sweating after that. You wouldn't know as a non-sweater. I'm saying that if you know that, and then your idea was proposed of running under the water, that's what a shower is. It wouldn't do anything to stop the sweat from coming out. So back to my question of, do you just reapply it knowing that it's kind of just mixing in with the sweat?
I think so. Yep.
Yeah.
Or you get a drone umbrella and you have somebody follow you with the drone umbrella
From just
to hold it over you. So like a drone
Right. It's so that
holds an umbrella.
so the sun doesn't get.
Yeah.
I think you're overestimating direct sun versus indirect sun
Yeah, maybe.
because. Oh, have you been fishing? You've been fishing?
Yeah.
Okay. You I know that's water, and it's it's probably a bad analogy, but there's a sun you get from. Okay, in the fishing analogy, there's sun you get from the sun directly, there's sun you get from the water, which water is very reflective, so it's not the perfect analogy. But when you're running on, especially lighter colored asphalt, that brightness also hits you. So there's direct, and there's I don't know if, how much burn you get though from indirect sun. It's a good question.
Probably more from the water.
Definitely more from the water. Yeah.
Than anything, else. But yeah, I had a PE teacher who said that her mom used to get really sunburned and that she would like have like the umbrella, everything. She even put like a towel over her legs, but she didn't get the front of her legs. So like when they were at the beach, the water reflected and burned the front of her shins. Yeah. She had like the umbrella and like, was all covered in sunblock. She still got her.
So in my head, I would like to go in the marathon in December to run shirtless, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because in my head, when it comes to running outside, I'd rather get vitamin D and a run in. But then I'm probably not going to pack my extender to get every part of my bag as far as the reapplication goes for the lotion. So now on the marathon,
I'm a solution.
Okay, what do you got?
What if you filled up the tiny water balloons with sunscreen? And then when you walk by, people can throw it at your back.
Just get pelted? Or better, we can create sunblock paintballs.
And would you just get shot?
Get shot. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, no, the cool thing about a marathon is they'll tell you the whole route. So you could have people meet you at different spots.
Yeah.
For example, I was like, hey, Angelita, meet me at the crossroad of Maine and San Pedro. And then you'll put a new layer on me or whatever.
Yeah.
But as a heavy sweater, would you...
You could tell her to put gloves on.
Wait, just for her own experience or for...
I thought you were going to say that she wouldn't want to touch you because you're sweaty.
No, I think she's fine. Okay, so I think her putting... But yeah, I guess it's the same thing. Hey, the liquid's coming off of you. I'm putting lotion on you, and it's kind of like...
all mixing in together.
So maybe at the 2-hour mark and at the 4-hour mark, because I guess it goes 5-6 hours.
I've never even looked. I didn't even know how long it was. I'm thinking that's a long walk or long run.
Now, if you did it with Jeremy, would you want him to stay with you?
Yeah, I'd like us to stay together.
And then with other people, such as myself, would you also like me to stay with you?
You do not have to stay with us.
Not have to. I know I don't have to do anything in life.
Well, would I like you to? Would I like you to? I wouldn't want you to slow yourself down and then tire yourself out. But if we all did it together, yeah, that would be fun. Should we tell Diamond and Alan?
Marathon training? Should we tell everyone?
Yeah. Everyone in the marathon training.
Are we going to do a half in between so we can test ourselves?
Yeah, I think that would be
I
a
think
good
there's
idea.
a half like in August. And my friend told me about he's
like a
jumping in.
half marathon?
Yeah, 13.1.
Yeah.
I think the marathon is 27.2 or 27.3.
Yeah. Krish, as soon as she has the baby, she has to start training.
She's having hers in May training. Yeah, she has 7 months to get to know. That could be good.
Yep.
Because the one thing I do love about softball is that the idea of physical activity that we're getting our family involved with, that I think is, it's precious and valuable to be physically active together, and it's good for your body, and it's good for your mind.
Yeah.
So running as well. Now, would you continue your softball participation as You add on marathon training?
Maybe not.
Nah,
Yeah, I would definitely want to do both.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure I'd want to do both. But maybe, yeah, I don't think I'd dial back anything. Just add on lots and lots of running.
Yeah. Do you think you put what? So do you think you do water, Gatorade Zero, Prime, Powerade, Body Armor in your pouch?
No, just water.
No electrolytes?
Maybe Gatorade.
No coconut water?
No coconut water.
No potassium?
Nope,
Do you get cramps on like muscles?
not a lot.
Mm,
Every once in a while.
okay.
But I'd probably just load up on electrolytes, week before. Not a week, maybe like 2 days before.
Is that is that is that a strategy?
Well, that's what I hear what people do whenever they're going to drink a lot of alcohol. Like 2 or 3 days
Mm.
before you drink a lot of alcohol, like you drink a whole bunch of electrolytes, 2 or 3 days before, and then you don't get sick if you
Yeah.
drink a lot.
Yeah.
Because I was talking to Jared about that, and he was like, "Oh, I hate drinking because I always feel super sick no matter how much I drink." I said, "Well, I had seen like someone post and say something like that they're like, I'm at an age where anytime I'm gonna drink, I have to drink electrolytes and lots of water 2 or 3 days before I drink a lot." So I'd assume it's probably same thing.
Yeah. Okay. The carb intake, because I'm like pseudo carnivore right now, or like protein dense foods. They say like carb intake is especially relevant.
Are you supposed to eat like what? A granola bar while you're running?
Well, they have the gels, or they have what are called blocks, which are like pretty much gummies.
Oh.
People take bananas.
I was thinking of bananas.
So yeah, that's why the belts will have a pouch for
Do
your
some
phone.
people walk?
They do, but it's all like on the math. So let's say if you're walking, like let's say a fast walk, let's say it's 10 miles an hour. Is that right? No, that's 6. Maybe 8. 8 miles an hour. Let's do something that's easy math. Okay. Hey Siri. How fast is the average walking speed?
A walking speed of 2 to 4 miles per hour is typical for most people.
Okay, let's say
This answer is from healthline.com.
Thanks, Siri. 2 to 4 miles an hour is the average walking speed.
okay. Hey Siri. What's the slowest pace you can do to finish a marathon?
Okay, I found this on the web for what's the slowest pace you can do to finish a marathon. Check it out.
Okay, so then this website, Quora, says that the slowest recorded marathon time is around 8 hours and 30 minutes. However, it's important to note that different marathons may have different time limits for participants to finish the race. Okay, so the other website said something else. It said a 5-hour finish time equates to an average pace of 11.27 per mile. So
11.27, like time?
it's like an 11-minute mile.
Oh,
If
okay.
you go a mile in 11 minutes, 11.27. So yeah, I feel like 13, 14, or 15 is like their walking range. Yeah.
For like how many minutes it takes you to finish a mile?
Yeah.
Oh.
So, but yeah, it's one of those things. One, you get apps like there's a Nike app. There's a bunch of apps that you could figure out how fast your miles are to figure out to make sure you're able to finish it. And certain marathons will have a cutoff time as far as okay, you got to finish within 6 hours before they just stop.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not gonna like pick you up off the street or something. You can still finish it, but just as far as your official finisher,
Yeah.
you have to hit a certain time.
Cool.
All right. Okay. So then, what is your philosophy on your husband's wardrobe during marathon training? Can he go shirtless?
Yeah, I don't care.
Shortless, short shorts?
Yeah, I already know
You already know what?
that he would wear short shorts, like the track shorts.
Yeah.
Short shorts and maybe no shirt. I don't know if he would wear a shirt or not. I guess it would just depend on what he was looking like before. I guess if we did the marathon training, he would lose weight. But at this moment in time, I don't think he would be comfortable being shirtless. But
Mm.
like maybe by December he would if we did the training, which is also in part why I kind of think we want to do it, because I feel like it's easier to do things, as a pair. You know, he's been motivated to wanting to lose weight, but it's hard to do it alone, I'd assume.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
Maybe for some people, but so I think it would be best if we maybe did it together.
Mm.
Hold each other accountable.
Yeah. Do you think? Okay. So typically, the way they do training, it's 3 or 4 times a week, and maybe like your last run, or maybe like your Sunday run, as people call it. Sometimes is like your longer run, which might be 12 or 13 miles, and you kind of work your way up to 20
Mm-hmm.
on your long runs. But yeah, would you get any? Oh, so if you were gonna run hills, where would you go?
Ooh. I would just run up and down that street that goes from Southside Lions down.
Snake Road.
Yeah, up and down.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Probably there.
Do you know that park? Is it? What is the park? There's this park with a splash pad. I guess there's a lot of parks. Off of 410 and 90. No? Yes?
No, I don't know it.
We had our wedding rehearsal at the park. They have a lot of hills. There used to be like I guess a landfill of like trash, but then they redid it as a park. There's a bunch of hills. I've done a few runs over there.
Hmm.
But yes, okay, that's the running situation.
That we are in.
So the vanity in my heart is that I want my abs to be shredded and then start running with my shirt off.
Understood.
Yeah. I just wanted to confess that to the world.
Yes. I don't really know what I'm aiming for. Maybe just to set goals. Fitness, health, gain weight.
Marathon ain't gonna help you gain weight.
Well, not then, but I do feel like when I start working out, I get more hungry. So then, if I also am going to the gym, not going to the gym, but also trying to lift or do other things simultaneously,
Yeah.
I might be able to gain more muscle mass, which in turn will help me gain weight.
Mm.
So muscle weighs more than fat, obviously, but that's when I tend to gain weight more when I work out. But I've never been like a big cardio person, so that's where I'm like, I don't know what would happen.
Yeah. You know what you've done a good job at? When I use that intro, does it make you feel really good? Like something good's about to happen with anticipation? Like, oh, he's about to give me a compliment.
Sure.
So whether it's been the softball or even just the idea of the marathon training, like the idea of your social connection, your desire for social togetherness and all that, I think that's really strengthened the core of our family. And I wanted to give you that encouragement.
Thanks. I'm glad you joined the softball team.
Yeah, I'm glad you pressured me.
Yes.
Okay, question about social interaction. I feel like who you are, you're encouraging, you're funny, you like being around people, you're social, all of these things. And then you've been in social situations when it comes to serving tables, yes?
Yeah.
And so there's that skill that I've also served tables. I forget if you and I discussed this as well.
Yeah, I think we had talked about it.
So I serve tables, and there's an element of friendliness that you develop, and like you're there to entertain, to connect, but also to serve, and all of these things. I think that served you well. Do you? But then you probably have. Would you categorize yourself as an alpha personality as well?
I think so.
Then what I've seen happen with alpha personalities is sometimes friends won't initiate with an alpha because they're expecting the alpha to be the one who determines when do we get together? How often do we get
Yeah.
together? Are we having a dinner? They're like, oh, the alpha decides, so the betas won't. I'm not even saying betas are bad. I'm just saying betas are. So oftentimes in social situations, you figure out, okay, who's the decision maker here and who's not.
Yeah.
And that's all I'm saying with alpha. I'm not saying anything beyond that for this conversation. So I'm curious your situation. You are so immersed into our family. I can see like there's not a lot of like leftover time for friends, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just curious how you've navigated that because you have all of the skills to be very connected with different friends.
Yeah.
And then of course you could have just had bad friends. You don't really want them in your life anymore.
Yeah.
But as I'm curious how you view all of that on this side of it.
I do feel like I am more involved with our family. I do have a friend. I have one friend, and
Mm.
me and her, we get together and we hang out. But oftentimes we hang out like at my house, or we go and we eat.
Yeah.
And like it's something that I try to do during, I guess, during times that like I'm not super busy. But I do feel like I have always been, I'm not really bothered when I have to be the first person to initiate things.
Right.
Like it does not bother me at all. It's, in fact, like, our brother, uh Pops, he's often hard to hang out with sometimes, right? Cuz like he's always busy, he doesn't always reply to our text, but I don't get bothered when I'm texting him 5 or 6 times and he's not replying to me. Like
Yeah.
I'll just keep texting him.
Yeah.
I'll keep texting him and I'll be like, "Hey, like do you want to hang out this day? Do you want to do this?" That does not bother me. Some people are like, "Oh, well, they don't want to do it, so I'm not going to reach out to that person." To me, I don't care. Like I would just keep reaching out.
Mm.
Especially if it's my friend.
Yeah.
Like even with my one friend, like if she gets busy or something happens, like sometimes, I don't reply to her text, sometimes she doesn't reply to mine. I don't have a problem double texting her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like if it's been 2 weeks and she hasn't replied to my text and then I think about her, I'm gonna be like, hey, are you busy this week? Maybe we should hang out. That has never bothered me.
Yeah.
But I know some people it does bother them. They're like, oh well, I don't know if they want to hang out with me.
Right. Okay, then does it shock you with the number of things you've been a participant in? Again, I think go back to your high school days of being on dance team or cheerleading and
Mhm.
kind of all of those are very, very social things to be in. And then to have been a server, very, very social thing and connecting with
Mhm.
other servers and all that. Does it surprise you when you would self-describe as having one friend as opposed to like again, not saying you have to have 40
Like a
million,
lot,
but
yeah.
like whether that it's not 7, you know what I'm saying, or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
Or what's your perspective on that?
I think that, sometimes you go through like waves in your life and at different points in time, if I've done something wrong or like I've made a mistake, like I did mention in the past that like I have a problem with like running away from like conflict.
Yeah.
So a lot of the times I would just consider things like, oh, I don't even want to have to worry about fixing this. I really don't even want to have to apologize or explain myself or say what happened. Like I rather just cut and run. So like it's a lot easier for me to do that to friends, and it's my friend that I do still have, my one friend that I do still have. I'm friends with her because a lot of times when I would get into lows, I would just avoid her altogether. Like I just wouldn't do anything. I wouldn't do anything like bad as a friend, around her. I would just cut her off, which she didn't take it like as an insult. Like, and some people do take that as an insult as well. She didn't take it like, oh, you stopped talking to me. Oh, like you didn't prioritize our friendship. And it's like, okay, well, if you wanted to be my friend at that point in time, like I wasn't the nicest person. I wasn't being the best person. So I think that especially for us in our friendship, we've been able to be friends for so long because we give each other space when we need it. We don't pressure each other.
Yeah.
But it's like I do think that that's been like my main thing, and it's harder. Like I've gotten into arguments with a lot of my family members as well. I've gotten into things with them, but it's a lot easier for me to let things go because I can't get away from them.
Yeah.
Like I'm always going to see them at Thanksgiving. I'm always going to see them for birthdays. I'm always going to see them for Christmas.
Yeah.
Those kinds of things. And so I make a more of an effort to like apologize or, correct my behavior, and try to move forward and do things better. So I think that's been that's been where I'm at. I'm young. I've made a lot of mistakes.
Yeah.
So it's like a lot of the mistakes that I've made have hurt other people, and for that reason, I think I have kept my distance as far as like having more friends
Yeah.
because I don't want to hurt people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it seems like, again, outside looking in, the perception is that it's not like you're missing anything. It's in the sense of like being a mom, like how all consuming that is, for you, and how involved you are. And then again, we got the softball stuff, we got the podcast, you got all that you do for the family behind the scenes, whether it's picking people up or giving people rides and showing up and being there, and then the job stuff, and then being a wife and all of these things. So
Planning Easter for only Kalel.
Well, the interesting thing, I think your optimism and idealism of like the food situation was interesting. One, we always have our mom to fall back on as far as like her, like, hey, like she didn't even say she was signing up for the pico or for the rice or for the beans and all these, so you just knew she was gonna do stuff. But I know there's other people who would be much more specific as far as the food and all that stuff.
Yeah.
My dish was a disaster. Y'all didn't even try it. I was just ashamed.
You didn't even you didn't even give us a chance to try
it. Yeah, I know.
I'm sure it would have tasted fine with some A1.
Maybe.
Because A1 tastes good with everything. Well, okay, let me not say everything, but yeah, like especially with steak. So yeah. I would have tried it if you had some A1.
Yeah.
But you didn't even want us to try it.
This is true.
But anyways.
Yeah, no, but and the reason I ask because as I am in a season where I'm prioritizing a lot of family stuff before a lot of other things.
Mm-hmm.
So I am also observing myself, and I'm observing my situation with friends, and everything you do. The phrase is called opportunity cost. Is when you say yes to your family, you're saying no to your friends, or especially if it's not a friends and family thing, just a friend.
Yeah.
If you say yes to this friend, you're saying no to your family. If you say everything that you say yes to, you're saying no to everything else.
Yeah.
So I understand. I've built connections with friends over the years, and we had the social connections, especially via church, that there is a lot of opportunity, whether it's small group Bible study or big church or smaller church on Wednesdays, or if we're doing a Bible study with somebody who's trying to become a Christian. Like all of these things are all social things that have happened over my life. And so it's forged really great friendships. And then I'm in a phase where it's like, like figuring out where they fit in my life now as I'm doing. Again, we have softball tonight. We might have softball Thursday night.
Yeah.
Then if I'm coaching with Mila and Jetty with, we have our game on Monday night, and we have a game on Saturday, I think, is this week.
Yeah.
So then figuring all that out is an interesting dance, I'd say, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Comes with lots of stuff. And especially it's hard. I don't know if you run into this. It's hard if you're married to somebody who's not super. I want to be hanging out with people every day of the week,
Right.
So it's that too, I have to also make sure that I'm spending time with my husband. And, Kalel pretty much can go with me a lot of places. He doesn't come with me here, but he can come with me to the games. He can come with me to scrimmages. So, like, it's Kalel and I spend a lot of time together. I also have to spend time with Jeremy too, And Jeremy prefers it to just be us, which is why I think this whole marathon thing would be good for us to start doing that together.
Yeah.
So that then, because how we do it is, we are running a lot of the time, we're running some of the time and we're walking a lot of the time. So when we're walking and it's just us two, it gives us a lot of time to talk.
Yeah. Yes. A good point about the situation with
a partner who doesn't
and figuring that out, because as my wife, as a nurse all day, with people all day, serving people all day, encouraging them all day, sometimes at the end of the day, it's like, it's a lot to ask for more people time after.
Mm-hmm.
So us navigating that has been an interesting one, which was becoming okay with me going to social functions without her, so she could rest, recover, rejuvenate, and be ready for the next day of work or whatever we have planned. So that's an interesting one. But of course, it's probably different between a man and a woman.
Yeah.
You as a woman, like in social situations, again, it's different.
Yeah.
You know, the double standards are real, but then
Yeah.
as opposed to me going with friends or going with family to do something, it's not like
Yeah.
even a situation.
Yeah. Which I guess is also the reason that it's better that I am more friends with just my family.
Yeah.
Because I am a woman, and I also, oftentimes I'm taking Kalal with me,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So Jeremy likes to make sure. Even like the other day when we were going to go to the batting cages, and I told Jeremy, and you know, I had realized that I had been out of the house a lot, but I told Jeremy, I was like, I think I want to go to the batting cages later. And because I really want to practice, you know, batting, and he's like, okay, yeah, like we can go to the park tomorrow. You can go to the batting cages today. He's all, but are you like, who are you gonna go with? And I was like, well, I don't know, like I hadn't asked yet. And then I was like, I think I'm gonna ask Derek to see if he's gonna go. And he's like, okay, yeah, like if Derek goes, that's fine, but don't go alone. You know, don't go to the batting cages alone, or just, you know, you and like a friend, you know, that would make him nervous, you know, because
Yeah.
I told him it was over there, you know, kind of far away. So he's like, yeah, that's fine. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna see if Diamond Island are gonna go also. So like he does get, you know, he doesn't want me to be super far away with Kalel. Or even he was like, well, who's also gonna have Kalel?
Yeah.
Are you gonna have him? Do you want me to take him? You know, like, so I'm like, no, I'm gonna take him. Everything's gonna be fine. So
Yeah.
you know, he does try to make sure that not only am I okay, but like he likes the idea of me being with my family, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. No, it is good. It's good. I say it's good. I could see that also on my side as well, where that the family dynamic makes things smoother for people who, again, who might have insecurities or worries or doubts or fears
Yeah.
of what comes up as with what's happening with their partner.
Yep.
Yeah. Yes. 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 Yes.
Yep. Yes.
Well,
And
good.
especially like, you know, not being out just women that late in the day, you know, because I think we went like 6:45 or something like that. So when we got there, so it was already later.
Yeah.
And you know, after all the weird stories about, you know, people getting stolen and stuff like that, you know, human trafficking, I don't want to get stolen.
Yeah. This is true.
And they're less likely to try to take you if you're with other men.
Did you hear Jeanette's story the other day?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Crazy.
But I feel like I've heard like 7 of those stories
Yeah.
of like, and for people listening, it's our fan army of AIM Nation. No. It's the story that you may have heard online, which is, you know, a mom with her kids are at Target, and all of a sudden a person or a couple of people are like surrounding them or like following them around the store, and all of a sudden it's getting really uncomfortable. It looks like they're trying to kidnap them or trying to whatever, put them in a weird situation so they could grab one of the kids and go.
Mhm.
But one of our family members was in that situation, and it's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. Yep. So
Do y'all go walking around your neighborhood, or you're trying not to go to the neighborhood, or try to go to a park?
we usually do like, if we're gonna do the neighborhood, we'll walk, you know, to Krish's house, then to Diamond's house, then to Krish's house or Mom's house, and then back our
Oh.
house. You know, we don't walk the other way, you know, in opposite direction away from everybody else's house. But we like to stay real close to each
Yeah.
other. So anybody listening, we all live within 5 to 6 blocks of each other
Yeah.
on the other side of town. So
Yeah, so I started to think about like if I have a kid and I'm walking with my wife and then there's like a dog, I feel like I need several weapons. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I need my gun and I need a stick and I need
a knife.
a sling, maybe a knife too. Yeah, I don't know. But then I'll be like that guy. I'm like, oh, there's that guy again. He has his gun strapped on his, you know, on his left side, and then he has a knife on the other side, and he has this big old walking stick for battle
For
up against
dogs.
these crazy dogs.
Yeah.
But I asked that. I suppose you don't have a guarantee of protection just because
Yeah.
you're in a park either.
Yeah.
So the park wouldn't be a guarantee of that you don't have to face dogs.
Yeah.
But yeah,
What we like to do is a lot is walk to the park, walk around the park, walk home.
yeah,
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's the best because, you know, Mom's house is right there in the middle. So if we get really tired on the way back, they can always give us a ride home.
Yeah. You said park. Oh, are you gonna get one of those running carriages, running strollers?
I was thinking about that. Yeah, I
Mm.
really was. Yeah,
And
running
then,
strollers.
have you read about the strollers that face you and not face out?
Yeah.
Does that matter to you?
Yeah, sometimes. Have you seen those videos of like where the baby falls out of the front and then the parent starts to run them over?
No.
Because they can't see them.
No, I have not.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Or like, just
Some marathons they do let you go with the stroller, and some don't. Would you try to take hello?
no.
Oh.
No, I would not try to take a low with me. Especially if I've never done it before. Maybe if I was the kind of person who did marathons all the time. But,
Yeah.
I'm not that person.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Very good. All right. So here's a question. Do you want to carry the pod next time? You could carry it however you want to, but you're going to put a backpack on because you'll be carrying the pod. So several ideas of what you could do. You could do whatever you want, but you could plan out if we're doing 100, today we went an hour and 20 minutes. So that's 8-10 minute, or it's 16 5 minutes. But whatever it is, you would intro and then carry conversation. I naturally be curious, and there's an alpha part of me that just kind of like wants to control everything. But what do you think about it? What do you think about carrying next week's pod?
I'm willing to do it.
What about making a thumbnail on Canva?
Oh, thumbnail. Like I create the thumbnail?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Maybe. We'll see.
Okay. Then so you would have the thumbnail, conversation. So you'd be taking notes between now and then, and intro and the close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we do the Kalal thing? An intro video of Kalal?
Yeah, or boxing. We
Or
need a third person to.
To record us boxing?
Yeah.
Binka, 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 boom.
I forget. I know we did different poses. Actually, I think we have some videos of when we can do our dance videos. Some of the ones that we had from before as an intro. I still have those on my phone.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, you don't.
Remember, I get a new phone every once in a while.
And you just delete everything.
Yep.
Okay.
I shed the phone. I shed the old me.
Yes. All right, everybody. We want to say thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one. Aimee will be carrying next pod, so the record-breaking numbers will go to her credit for the thumbnail that attracts people to listen and for the conversation she helps create and stir. We'll see you on the next one.